With the jamming field down, we have a clear view of the Order's central command post. Their fortifications are extremely well designed, and a direct frontal assault has already failed. I've had to pull the 52nd off the line and use its remaining personnel as replacements for other units with less severe losses.
I'm sure the survivors of the 52nd appreciate your desire to put them back into battle so quickly. How exactly is my squad alone supposed to achieve what your massed units weren't able to do?
The difference, Major, is that your units will be dropped behind the Order's main defensive ring.
And this isn't asking my troops to commit suicide because...
Because, Major, at the same time you are being inserted, our main force will be making a frontal diversionary attack. This should ensure that you will encounter only scattered resistance in the enemy backfield as you take out a series of key support structures.
Unless, of course, the Order has a tactical reserve force.
Intelligence assures me the probability of that is very low.
I feel safer already.
Of course, we will only be able to get one dropship in at a time, so your forces will arrive over a tactically significant period of time.
Oh, this mission just keeps getting better and better. Well, Director, I'd better get my affairs in order because I'll be going in with my troops on the first dropship. Promise me that you will recall the other two dropships if we don't make it. I don't want my entire command wiped out with me.
I would never waste personnel on a failed mission.
Welcome back to Ground Control. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We have Mission 14, Behind Enemy Lines, and this is Ground Control's answer to the well-worn RTS trope of the unrealistically suicidal late-game mission. We're just sort of finding gimmicky ways to up the challenge. And I think they did a decent job of setting it up in the briefing from a plot point of view, but I'm still not buying it. These fortifications the Order has, there's no reason why the asteroid couldn't help us out with those. And I think it would have been potentially more interesting, although probably not feasible from having the game run on the computers of the time, if you had, just us taking place in the frontal assault with several other equal-sized divisions. But given that, and given, that would be really hard to balance, and we're focused on Parker's squads, we know that, this is where we are. Now, sadly, their description of the dropship scenario is not that great either. Parker says, or rather VP Hayes says, you get them over a tactically significant period of time in between each dropship. Well, no, not quite. And then the note down here says you'll only be able to drop one dropship to make adjustments accordingly. No, you get them all. You just get them delayed. So as we'll see, that's a little bit not exactly the way it should have been described, in my opinion. So if we get in here to our force, it is important that you divide up the dropships, as they say, because you are only going to get the one at first. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just make that the first one. And I want 2 infantry, 1 Pterodyne, and 1 support Pterodyne. And the reason why I want that is scouts, Marines for anti-Templar. I want the heavy Pterodynes to deal with any more traditional threats, and then, of course, the anti-air. So not knowing what's coming at us, the air power and the Templar are the two things I'm the most concerned about. And then the survivability of those heavy Annihilator Pterodynes is really important. And then I just sort of want to split up the other two as evenly as possible. So let's have some air power in each, and some support in each. And then, we'll sort of work that as we go through here. So, Jaegers, recon. Ripperjacks, offensive Marines, and of course we're going to want that deployable radar. There's our heavy Pterodynes, we'll leave them balanced. Anti-air, and then moving on to the other ones, we're again going to switch the scouts up to main battle because we are focusing on the Jaegers. And yep, there we are. Jaegers are going to do the scouting for us, and I'm not going to keep 3 scouting units. That would limit our firepower. And then we've got the rocket Pterodynes here. And we'll go ahead and do the fighters, and then we'll have a wing of bombers as well. got the artillery. Another main battle. Then here's our light. Go with deplete uranium there, and then our bombers. We're going to try to use the tactical nuclear bomb if we have a reasonable option for it here. We'll go with offensive just to be extreme. Okay, so that's our fighting force. Let's get to this.
New drop zone.
Welcome to the polar wastes. It is nighttime. We have limited force, and soon we'll be hearing it
Dropship entering atmosphere.
from the weather as it's pretty windy out. So everything's sort of against us here.
Mission update. The second dropship is waiting for some sign that the combat situation is viable. Destroy the communication relay, and they will be vectored in to land.
Okay, you can see we have several targets. Auxiliary power. Comm relay. Reinforcements available after its destruction. So this is where we're headed for our first objective. There's Comm station further up to the northwest. Power core in the very north. Main power in the east. And power unit more in the southeast. Then notice this over here. I'm going to actually explore this just to show what happens. Now, this is their main base in the area, which they actually don't even want us to attack.
Move order received.
It's worth seeing what they do. Okay, now the buildings are starting to come into view, and it's interesting they have searchlights, which seems very archaic for, you know, hundreds of years in the future, but apparently sensors have not evolved to the point where they can detect things. So they got artillery over here, they've got a whole bunch of buildings, and look at this. I thought Hayes said there was no tactical reserve, and we've got iguana turrets and everything else.
Squad 1. Unit lost. Squad 1.
But then they send in a whole
Unit
bunch
lost. Squad 1.
of reinforcement,
Unit
you
lost.
know,
Squad 1.
buildings. They got more artillery.
Squad
They've got all
lost.
kinds of stuff. And yes, very bad things going to happen. So apparently Hayes was wrong about there being no tactical reserve. And given the objectives for the mission, we are definitely not actually going to be doing this and poking the bear. So we'll reset and get to a proper attempt here. Okay. So, naturally, we're going to head north out of this pass and try to work our way over to the comm relay.
Major, we're moving out. Affirmative. Position acknowledged.
As we make our way across this open area, you can see one of the more unique parts of this map is that, you know, the actual clouds, if you look up, are static. But there is a cloud effect on the ground, and so parts of the landscape that are lit are actually going to alternate lit and dark. There's a fighter that we want to take down. I'm going to move forward our anti-air to that.
Understood. I'm on my way.
And so that can add a little bit of a dynamic. It's hard to make use of it strategically, but it can change the way that fights play out. Now, of course, we're aiming for this. I just sort of want to stay away from any high rises. Again, we've only got the one scout, which helps, but, you know, it still leaves us somewhat exposed. We have limited force, all of that. So we're trying to, and now that we get up here, we can be in permanent darkness and be feeling a little bit more safe, that we will stay hidden as long as we wish to do so.
Coordinates received.
Here we go. Let's see if we can get any shots in on it there. Yep.
Enemy aerodyne destroyed.
Fighter almost got away, but it did not. So that's our first,
Yeah, I'm going.
as they say in the Craven military,
We are moving.
enemy asset terminated. Many more to come, I'm sure.
Move order received.
And now we have some scout
Enemy
hover
attacking
bikes
Squad 1.
showing up. So
Move order received.
let's get in position here
Coordinates received.
to fight them off a little better.
Move order received.
And the Jaegers, you know, have taken a little bit of damage. the risk of being scouted out here, but I think we're going to be
Enemy attacking
okay
Squad 1.
Understood. I'm on my way.
with the rest of
Yeah,
this.
I'm going.
So I'm sure our infantry and pterodynes will make short work of these.
Enemy hoverdyne destroyed. Enemy attacking Squad 1.
There we go. No further action seen at the moment. So far, so good. Okay, so now we're set up for the approach. Again, you know, all of these sort of plateau things in this map have an entrance, and usually a pretty steep one on the one side. So this is the side we have to approach this one from. There's another objective over here, and behind us we can actually see the full comm station buildings. But over here, we can't really see what's up there. We see there's a medium hoverdyne moving about. We catch a glimpse of it every so often. But because of how sheer the cliff is, we're going to need some help. And as much as I'm not a huge fan of using my radar this early in a level, I think it's necessary here. We've got the limited force here. We can't afford to screw up. If there's Templar up there and I send my tanks up, you know, or whatever, I mean, that's going to be a very bad situation. We go ahead and deploy this, and we can't see what's over here, but it does give us a lot more information here. And then this way, we can see there's a missile launcher, pillbox, hoverdynes, there's a torpedo infantry, another pillbox, beam platforms on patrol over there. That's not going to be fun. So we definitely don't want to go anywhere near that right now. What about up here? We've got a missile launcher, got a couple pillboxes. We have Defender Gun Mark II and medium hoverdynes. And so this is, you know, the medium hoverdynes are the main threat. But it definitely does seem to be a task for the Annihilator, and that probably was the right tool for the job here. So we're going to move up. We want to get all the way up there.
Right away, Major.
And then let's move
Move order received.
to the sides here with our infantry, ready to push up.
I'm on my way.
And then we're going to put our anti-air just a little bit in front here so it can protect against anything in this general area. I'm going to want to get the APC up here pretty quickly to help repair these. But the tip of the spear, of course, is
Coordinates received.
these pterodynes. So I want to end this fight quickly.
Enemy attacking Squad 2.
Let's move over toward them. And notice the pillboxes aren't shooting at them. It's not because they can't. It's because the AI units are smart enough that they won't even shoot at something that they can't
Enemy
damage.
attacking Squad 2. Enemy
And our
attacking
Annihilator
Squad
pterodynes have thick enough armor
Major, I can't reach that.
that it's useless for them to even try to attack. So that's an interesting thing, I think. Maybe we can get some shots in from the rear with our Marines.
Enemy hoverdyne
That's
destroyed.
not going to matter. Okay, that's down.
Attack order
And then if we
received.
pound these pillboxes, there's nothing in here that's going to be a threat to the rest of our ground troops.
Target confirmed, Major.
Why are you moving over to it?
Consider him paid.
Okay.
Major.
You want to get right on top of it before you shoot it. Whatever. But I don't think there's any reason why I can't pull up now.
Major, we're moving out.
These units
Enemy
move up a little bit
structure
here.
destroyed.
We are moving.
That's gone.
Attack order received. Yeah, I'm going.
Enemy structure destroyed.
There we go. They're going to move over here, take out that pillbox.
Affirmative. Attacking. Affirmative.
Have my Marines take out that bunker. And so what we're going to have here is your basic gradual clearing operation. And now that we're taking this down and it's not going to get damaged,
Enemy structure destroyed.
I will also pull up my APC and get repaired here.
We're on our way, Major.
Enemy structure destroyed. New dropship update. Communication relay destroyed. Prepare for reinforcements.
Excellent. Now here's the thing. It says prepare for reinforcements. Is that ours or order
Enemy structure
reinforcements?
destroyed.
Because technically it doesn't tell me. Now if I move the Jaegers a bit over here, you can see we can spot a little bit, but now we can spot quite a bit more. We can see most of what's over on this side, where we can see they have anti-air, they've got Crusaders, they've got a turret up over here. And so they've got a little bit different defenses. No anti-ground hoverdynes, but they're better in their anti-air capacity and better static defenses. But in any case, we're going to finish this attack. Going to clear out the rest of this. Let's bring down some more
Enemy
troops.
structure destroyed.
You can see our only drop point is up here.
Dropship entering atmosphere.
And we'll drop the second one.
Dropship entering atmosphere.
This is all way over this way, right in this big open area. And notice how Hayes said there's a tactically significant period of time between each dropship. And this is why this isn't exactly true, because we get the second and third dropships at the same time. Now, the issue that we have is that this area over here basically blocks it off. Especially with these beam platforms patrolling. We can't get up on this ridge at all anywhere on the map. So there is no good way to get by here to those units. This has to go down first, which means the second couple dropships are going to take care of that. And then these are just going to sort of have to hang out over here. So rather than pursue any more attacks, I'm going to eliminate this outpost. But that's it. And then I'm just going to sort of hang out with everybody over in this direction.
Attack order received. Yeah, I'm going.
I want to relocate as soon as this is done. And actually, I'll do it now with the APC. I want everybody to come down here by the radar. They can defend the radar from any air attacks, and then they can all also be in one place for mutual defense and repair and all of those things. Okay, so now we're on to our second group of units over here. And there's a couple ways we can approach this. One is we can come over here by the base. You can see they got some light hoverdynes patrolling as well. Fight them, go uphill right into the teeth of the defenses. That doesn't sound like much fun to me. And thankfully there is a second alternative. We can also go up this. Now, I mean, this looks pretty dangerous. So naturally we're not going to charge up there, guns blazing. We're going to throw up a Jaeger unit. And these are inexperienced relatively, so could be a little dicey if they come under attack, but that sure beats the snot out of having our whole force coming under heavy assault. And then let's group up. So we've got the 3 units of Pterodynes. We've got artillery and rockets over here. We don't have any heavies, though with this group. Our only heavy unit came in with the first dropship. We do have our Aerodynes. We don't have an APC for repair, and we don't have any Marines for anti-Templar duty. So the splitting of it up still did cause us some weaknesses here that we're going to have to be aware of and really try to compensate for. But meanwhile, as we get up here with our Jaegers, I don't really see anything. And this sort of fits in with the description of the mission overall, which is that you're hitting surgical targets behind their back line so they don't have a ton of patrols in the area. So I can now, this little somewhat narrow but plenty wide area, we can head over this way. We can be on equal ground with them as we approach, and all of that will work out well. It's going to take some time to get up here, but it looks like this is going to be a much safer and more viable approach than it would be if we had come up the other way. Okay, so we've gotten in position here, and we can't really see anything else. Now, I think this is about the edge, based on what we've been able to see from it, of the radar, which makes me wonder, is there just the one Templar, or are there more? But they're definitely my top priority target. So I'm going to, and I've spread out the pterodynes in a line formation here to get maximum firing.
Attack order received.
And then we're going to target with the artillery, because we should at least be able to damage the one. And then we'll see what happens with whether or not there's any more that come after us.
Enemy infantry destroyed.
Move on to the
Pulverizing
barracks.
target.
Enemy structure destroyed.
We're only told one was destroyed. I don't see any more coming. So I think there was just the one, which is bizarre to have one, but I think it might be just throwing us a small bone there due to the fact that we can't attack.
Enemy structure destroyed.
Beginning barrage.
Like, we can't attack with everything, I mean. That we have to split up forces at this point in the mission. Well, don't have to, but there's no good alternative. So I just want to gradually eliminate things here. And it is definitely a time to be cautious, in my opinion, given that we don't have the repairability of the APC. We either have to burn our automated repair equipment or, you know, just accept a certain level of damage. That should be enough
Attack
there.
order received.
Move on to the comm relay. I think we can afford to move forward a bit.
We're on our way, Major. Moving.
Enemy
We
structure
are on our
destroyed.
way.
So, a couple barracks down, pillbox down. Now we're working on hitting the main objectives. Let's move a little further on to the comm station
Enemy
itself.
structure destroyed.
One of its flanking buildings is now down. We definitely want to keep an eye on everything up here in case anything comes after us. But so far, they are not moving except for the beam platforms and the light hoverdynes, who are simply going on their merry patrol route. The comm station itself absorbing a lot more punishment. Oh, and here comes the heavy hoverdyne, so we're done with that.
Beginning barrage.
Jaegers,
Enemy structure
slide over here.
destroyed.
Order received.
And actually,
Enemy attacking squad 11.
probably a good place for the
Attack order
bombers.
received.
Hold fire artillery.
Secured.
I don't know if they'll get in here in time.
Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
Nope. It's going to be too late for them. Still,
Artillery moving out. Yes,
nope, not
Major.
you. The
Moving
rockets
out.
did well there.
Spotted.
We eliminate the heavies. We can see not a lot of damage here. We did take a fair amount to that one because their armor is pretty flimsy. So I'd like to avoid them getting hit a lot more. Nonetheless, artillery, you move back up here. Let's finish off that comm relay. We've got a missile launcher there. Interesting that the beam platforms have split up. So we can knock out some more of these defenses. Let's move our Jaegers up.
Moving out.
That might be a little far.
On our way, Major.
Yeah, and our bombers are still too far forward.
Enemy structure destroyed. All order communication has been cut off.
Now, I don't actually know what good that does, practically speaking. But it still sounds like a positive development.
Beginning barrage.
There we go.
Attack order
The
received.
pulse laser is the next thing that needs to go. We can still just hang back here and shoot them, so we've got plenty of range.
Enemy structure destroyed.
Now, I don't particularly care about the ammunition depots, but I will throw some shots at them.
Enemy aerodyne destroyed. Enemy attacking squad 4.
Ah. So they had some attacks happen over there, and
Enemy structure destroyed.
our defenses were equal to the task. Is the radar still up? Yep, took a little bit of hits, but it's fine. So what I want to do now is irritate the light hoverdynes when they come up.
Area targeted for bombardment.
I'd like to eliminate them so that when I go after the beam platforms, there are no distractions.
Enemy structure destroyed.
Plus, you know, those are almost dead, so. Are these going to land in time? Yeah, they will. There we go. Retreat Jaegers.
Move order received.
Enemy attacking squad
We'll
9.
just hit the artillery button on these light hoverdynes. Of course, using bombers against them would be a bad idea.
Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
Tear them up pretty well, I think.
Enemy attacking squad 7. Enemy hoverdyne destroyed. Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
Okay. So now we're going to move forward a little bit more.
Major. Moving out.
Nope,
Move order received.
not with you. With the Jaegers.
Major, we're moving out.
We've taken some damage,
Move order received.
particularly the rockets. So I think I just want to hang back with them.
Artillery
They're not going to be
moving
too
out.
useful for this next part anyway. So I'm going to do something that is cheesy, admittedly. But it also helps exploit the weakness of the beam platform, so I think it's worth doing for that demonstration purpose.
Beginning barrage.
So we want to tick off them and definitely want to be firing as much artillery at the beam platforms as possible. And I'll withdraw here.
Hey, Major.
But as that comes in, I'm also going to send in my fighters. They can't attack the beam platforms, so you might be wondering why. And the reason why is that the beam platforms will shoot at them.
Enemy attacking squad 6.
And they can move fast enough to avoid most of the fire. So essentially they're a decoy. They'll do a good job at avoiding the artillery fire and also the fire of the beam platforms, while our artillery shots
Enemy attacking squad 6.
Take
Enemy
care of
hoverdyne
business.
Order
destroyed.
received.
Now, of course, if there were any anti-air in the vicinity, this would be a really bad idea. But here, it does work. And so essentially, we're just manipulating and taking advantage of their AI.
Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
And now that battle is over. Now, our fighters did take some damage, especially the one. So it wasn't a completely cost-free exercise, but we still have all of them available. And I would trade fighters for beam platforms any day of the week, because the enemy there a lot more dangerous.
Pulverizing target.
Let's move forward our Jaegers and just make sure there's nothing else up here.
Enemy structure destroyed.
Okay, so my next goal that I have is to link up our two forces, and then we can move on with things. And we do have to move down this whole area, this passageway, which could be a little bit dangerous. I want to kind of close up here and make it a little bit safer if I can. So we're going to move
We're moving out.
out this way.
Position acknowledged.
And I feel our radar's pretty much accomplished its purpose. So if we were to lose it now to some sort of attack, you know, I'd be okay with that. We're not going to be able to get any more out of it from its current location anyway. And then I just need to move over this way and get my, you know, column of armor and everything set up for moving down out of this plateau.
All right, box formation. Move it out.
Okay, so we're over here on this end in darkness,
Yeah, I'm going.
about ready to enter the canyon or whatever you want to call it, the passageway. And, you know, so we can move our Jaegers forward a little bit here to see a little better. But we're looking all right there. We don't see anything across here, which I think we would. I think we're close enough with these Jaegers. Let's just slide up this way and make sure that there's nothing there. So if there's anything up here, you know, any particular missile batteries or howitzers or whatever, well, howitzers we would have seen a long time ago. They would have been firing at us. No problem there. So let's make sure that there's nothing out this way. Now, and I've kind of got to, with one Jaeger, I've got to move it in one spot and then, like, off to another, and so on and so forth. So we're just going to be a little bit patient here and wait for them to get out here and let us know that it's secure. And we're not seeing anything. Pan back. Make sure there's nothing over here. We're going up on this little bit of a rise. It'll give us more vision. Nope. There's one other thing I want to check. Because we've seen anti-air hide in places like this before. So let's waltz over that way. If there's nothing there, then we'll be able to proceed forward and group up with no issue. There is something there. How lovely. This is a drone carrier. I'm going to freely admit I didn't check this hidey hole the first time I did this level, and it caused some serious problems. Now, we will be dealing with drone carriers in more detail at a later time, but basically what these do is they send out drones that you cannot target. Drones that quickly move along the landscape and explode into your armored vehicles. So that's bad. And I'm going to send my bombers after them so that they don't get to do that. Could also do it with artillery, but I'm not sure they would get it on the first try. Bombers are a more, you know, for sure kill type of thing for anything in the area. And the other thing to notice about these is they are pretty fragile. They can't take a ton of damage.
Enemy hoverdyne
So there they go. But you really want to know where they are and kill them before they see you, because, and if you hit them, you want to hit them like so that they're dead. You don't want to scratch them and then have them come after you, because their drones are very powerful. So, that's the right way to take them down. In any case, we are now safe from everything that we can see, and we will move along and link up with our other troops, including the APC. So we're now situated, ready to head up here, and I'm a little bit concerned about the pulse turrets, but they're not going to be any sort of big problem. So what I want to do is keep the light pterodynes down here because they're a little bit too fragile, most likely. And then I want to move everything else up. So let's have heavies in the middle.
Major, I can't attack order received. Yeah, I'm going.
Main battles on the right.
Unable to reach location. Can't do that. Can't move there.
Somewhere over here.
Unable to reach location. Moving.
Enemy attacking squad 9.
There we go. So you take out this turret.
Moving.
Squad 2 taking friendly fire.
And we got, okay, those are charging
Squad 2
down.
taking friendly fire. Enemy attacking squad
The idea
5.
is just that the
Enemy
units I
structure
sent up here are
destroyed.
durable enough to deal with whatever melee. The turrets are gone.
Enemy infantry destroyed. Squad 2 taking friendly fire.
Yep, they're going to get tagged a little bit by our own, but it'll be fine.
Enemy attacking squad 5. Enemy infantry destroyed. Squad 2 taking friendly fire. Squad 2 taking friendly
Okay.
fire. Enemy infantry destroyed.
Now that's gone.
Consider
Let's get rid of this
aid.
defender
Orders
gun.
received.
Enemy structure destroyed.
And we can clear out the riffraff.
Target.
Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
Here goes the anti-air.
Target confirmed, Major.
And then it's just to mop up.
Enemy structure destroyed.
Charging target.
And I could have been a little more careful in this part, but it's just, when you have overwhelming
Enemy
force, why not use it?
destroyed.
Charging target.
Enemy structure destroyed. Power generator destroyed.
Attack order
Well, that's a
received.
pretty generic update, but as far as I know, this
Enemy
doesn't
structure
actually,
destroyed.
you know, do anything for us in terms of eliminating resistance later on or anything like that. But it's the next objective. So now we've got a much tougher choice. And I think this is the second key part of the level. The first part being obviously, you know, having the right setup, or a decent setup anyway. We could have actually done it better with foresight for what that first dropship's going to be, hitting the target, and then, you know, taking the better route up here to hit the comm station. So which direction do we want to go from here? We've got these three to hit. And this over here, the only way to get to it from this direction is up this. We're going near that base, which I'd like to avoid. And then you're going uphill, and this is even further uphill. So this stuff is super elevated. And this is a really dangerous path. On the other hand, it's not easy the other way. Because if we go the other direction, it's a very long trek all the way up here. But this one we can approach from the north from either side. So that's not going to be a problem. But then when we come down this way, very narrow passage around here or around this way, it dips down. And again, you're going, you know, getting in too close to the base. This is uneven terrain. This is not really viable. So we'd have to try to squeeze through this way. So if we come up this way, we can hit this head on. But then we've got to deal with this. And my decision here basically is that stick with your principles. Always go with higher ground where you can. In other words, don't get into this mess. It does mean we're going to have some issues over here, but I think that's the lesser of the two evils. So we have a very long trek ahead of us, and once that's done, we will get to hammer the power core. Okay, we have now reached the, what is it, the power core? Is that what we're doing here? Yeah, secondary power unit, power core. Now, this has been the longest, and there was no interruptions at all, the longest relocation I've ever done. From way down here all the way up here, we essentially circumnavigated half the map, went up to the very northern edge, and traipsed along. Now I'm using a slightly different approach here with my heavy pterodynes in front because there's always the threat of Templar. There's always the threat of air attacks, but then now we've got the drone carriers to worry about. And given that, I want them to be aiming at my highest armor unit if for any anti-armor attacks. So essentially I'm using these annihilators as not annihilators but shields.
Pulverizing target.
All we can see from here before we go down into this depression is pulse lasers. So I want to eliminate those. It looks like we've got enough range to do it, although I probably should move forward a little.
We are on our way. Move order received.
And I want to keep
We are
the
moving.
anti-air reasonably far up, but then still behind these.
Right away, Major.
So that's kind of a...
Yes, Major. Moving
Let's just
out.
move the artillery
Structure
forward a
destroyed.
bit. There we go. There's something moving around back
Attack
there.
order received.
Let's go ahead and hit this pulse laser. Why are you going away from the target? Whatever. And once this is gone, we'll have no choice to move forward a little bit. I wonder if I can see any more from that
Hey, Major.
little bit there. What do we have here? Ha ha ha.
We're on our way, Major.
Another drone carrier. Now I can't send the bombers in after this one because I don't know what's up there. And we got
Enemy
medium
structure
hoverdynes.
destroyed.
But yeah, I'm more concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the drone carrier, which we're not hitting yet. But I don't think I have a better option. So I am going to target right here in the middle,
Area targeted for
where it's
bombardment.
patrolling back and forth. But then I'm also
Line formation acknowledged. Understood. I'm on my way.
going to do this. And how far forward? Maybe there?
Affirmative. Position acknowledged.
So that if it comes this way and starts releasing drones. Here it goes. We've irritated it.
Move order
It's
received.
coming. Ah, but they're coming as well. Okay, retreat.
Understood. I'm on my way.
And then use
Pulverizing
Enemy
target.
attacking Squad 4.
the artillery. Yeah, because here they go. Yep, they're coming after these. So let's get our APC up there. Oh boy, I didn't realize it was that far back. This could
Unit
be a
lost,
problem.
Squad 4.
Yeah, we're losing some of our infantry. That sucks too.
Enemy attacking Squad 4. Unit lost, Squad 4.
Just don't destroy the whole unit and I'll be happy.
Enemy hoverdyne
There we go.
destroyed.
Okay, they absorbed the punishment. At least so far. You can see it's taken a serious toll on them. And again, those little drones that they send across, you can't target them. So I screwed up with my
Enemy
infantry.
attacking Squad 8.
Move order received.
And now I'm going to have problems
I'm on my way.
potentially with Templar later. But I need my artillery to knock out the rest of these.
Squad 2 recharging. Enemy attacking Squad 8.
You know what? Let's just pull back before we lose any more.
Received.
Send in the big dogs. That's what you're here for.
Target confirmed, Major.
So now we'll see the Annihilator side.
Squad 4 recharging.
But no, that was
Enemy
definitely a
hoverdyne
mistake
destroyed.
trying to forge forward with Marines. Lost 6 of my 8. So, yeah. Just rely on the artillery from now on. However, we should be able to heal up. We've knocked out a couple of
Squad
medium
4
hoverdynes. We've
recharging.
knocked out drone carrier. And so,
We're on our way.
I'm not sure how much more there is up here, but we'll have to find that out momentarily. Okay, we have Crusaders. Here's the power structures. I think that's it. Just Crusaders. Well,
Understood.
with the limited Marines I have, I don't want to face off them.
Attack order received.
If I can tick them off with artillery, snipe them from the side with Jaegers, and meet them down here with these, that should be well more than sufficient. It appears that's the end of the resistance.
Enemy infantry destroyed.
Yeah, it did more than tick them off with artillery, wiped them out. Okay. Once again, we have a mess to clean up.
Enemy structure destroyed. Power generator destroyed.
So, once again, Annie 1 is completely in command of the extremely obvious.
Target
And as we wipe out the rest little bits of this, we should have a relatively easy trip from here
Enemy structure
down here.
destroyed.
But then, again, this is going to be a tough thing to attack intelligently. Okay, here's a fighter. Outskirts of the defenses on this thing for main power. You can see I don't want to get my aerodynes any closer. They might even be a little bit too close as it is. There was something moving around up there. And if we go by on this direction, again, over here, not good. Over here, and you can see right about there. It's like this is all the space that we have to get by. All right.
affirmative.
I'll
Position
keep what
acknowledged.
little Marines I have in front.
We're on our way, Major.
Okay, what do we
On our
have?
way, Major.
Another drone carrier. Okay. Get the heavies in front.
Yeah, I'm going.
I don't think there's any way we can squeeze by our formation without alerting that. So, given that scenario,
Understood.
our next
I'm on my
best
way.
idea
Moving right
You know, sending in the bombers isn't going to be a good idea because who knows what they have up there. They could have Templar for, you know, even more fun. Who knows? So I think we hit that drone carrier with artillery.
Area targeted for bombardment.
It keeps going through that area. So I should eventually hit it there. Okay, you come up as far as you need to. Anti-air, you come up. Let's move up the heavies a little more. Yep, okay, that's fine. So you're well in front of these two. I think this is about as well as I can form it. And then we need to be ready to react. I'm going to move these Jaegers up a little bit further because we need to be ready to react in case we tick off something we don't want to and it comes storming around here. That close enough for our anti-air? No, apparently not. Okay. So now we've just got to wait till we either blow it up or it gets mad. Ah, here we go. Nope, still a little bit out of range. Wonder if I just inch these up a little bit more.
Location received.
Moving at once.
Ah, here it comes. Okay. Artillery, pound it.
Pulverizing target.
And actually, from there, I almost want to send the bombers after. That's probably still a little bit too close, though. We'll do it the safe way.
Squad 2. Squad 2 recharging.
You see, again, they send the drones. And if I... Because I didn't really examine this really close, but you can see I cannot target them. Nonetheless, these are good enough to tank them for a while.
Squad 2. Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
And there we go. Okay. So, drone carriers down. We can repair.
Squad 2 recharging.
Move forward a little bit more and see what's next. Oh, is that gonna... Did we get it? Not quite.
Move order received.
Okay, so we're gonna want to just get set and move forward a
Squad
little
2
bit more here, I
recharging.
think.
Coordinates received. Move order received.
Yes, Major. Moving out.
Moving. Move order received.
Stay as far away from that cliff as I can.
Enemy aerodyne destroyed.
Major, we're moving out. Major, we're moving out.
Because I'm not seeing anything else floating around near the edge of it.
Move order received.
There may be more.
Yeah, I'm going. Right
But I
away.
think I just want to work my way around this edge. And if there isn't any more serious hostiles, then I think I can get away with that. Okay, we can see a bit more over here. We've got Templar torpedo. Got a pulse laser pillbox as we come around here.
Enemy attacking Squad 8.
Ah, got some scouts as well.
Right away, Major. Affirmative. Position acknowledged.
I want to keep everybody coming way as far out here as I can.
We are moving. Location received. Move order received.
Aerodynes, stay where they are.
We're on our way, Major.
Then gradually swing around this way. But I think, I think I want to be more over
I'm
here.
going. Right away, Major.
I want to be really nice and attractive
Order received.
to those Templar, just in case our artillery does not
Enemy attacking Squad 3.
do what it needs to do.
We are moving.
Yeah,
Location received.
I'll reset and organize, but I
Squad
think
3 recharging.
that's about where I want to be.
Moving right away, Major.
And where's my anti-air?
Move order received.
Make sure that's in a decent position. Let's form up a respectable battle line behind here.
Coordinates received.
The exception of you, you're going to stay there.
received.
And I don't really care about those scout hover bikes. They can do what they want. Okay.
Pulverizing target.
Artillery, let's make it happen.
Affirmative. We will fire at will. Move order received.
Well, your aim could have been better.
Enemy attacking Squad 8. Squad 3 recharging.
Okay.
Squad 8 taking friendly fire.
Why are you not even trying to shoot us yet?
APC taking friendly fire.
Not that
Enemy infantry destroyed. Enemy attacking Squad 8. Squad 3
Artillery weapon
recharging.
secured.
Enemy infantry destroyed.
Understood. I'm on my way.
Move.
Squad 8 taking friendly fire.
Yep.
Unit lost. Squad 8.
That was dumb. How many times have I said don't hit yourself with your own artillery?
Squad 4 taking friendly fire.
How many times have I said it?
Affirmative.
I didn't shut them off soon enough. But
Move order received.
we did get the Templar. Okay, there's... Let's finish off that
Squad 4
pillbox.
Pulverizing target.
I would expect there'd be another one over here, but I can't see it yet. That's just super dark area in general.
Squad 2 taking friendly fire. Squad
Artillery
8
weapon
recharging.
secured.
Enemy structure destroyed.
There we go.
Squad 2 taking friendly fire.
Okay. So,
We're on our way, man.
only 2 Jaegers left there, which is unfortunate. But we're going to sweep out here and get set to charge up the hillside again. I don't think there's anything else left to do.
Right away, Major.
I do see some Crusaders sitting around here,
Pulverizing target.
so let's give them a piece of our mind. Might even splash
Enemy attacking Squad 8.
some of those hover bikes while we're at it.
Enemy infantry destroyed.
Yep.
Enemy infantry destroyed.
Very nice. One of the hover bikes is gone. Okay, let's take our full Jaeger group,
Moving out.
since they're less in danger of being destroyed. Okay, hold on. Medium hoverdynes, stay.
On our way, Major.
They look like they're just sitting there.
Yes, Major. Attacking.
No, not you.
Moving out, Major.
Beginning barrage.
Squad 2 taking friendly fire. Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
Okay.
Move order received.
Let's maybe move you out this way.
Moving.
Prevent more friendly fire incidents. But yeah, they're just hanging out there, which means I should be able to do some damage here. Yep, they're going to come after us, but now they're going to be almost dead when they do.
Understood. I'm on my way. Right away, Major.
Squad 2 recharging. Squad 2 taking friendly fire.
And
Enemy
stop
hoverdyne
firing.
destroyed.
Artillery weapon secured.
Squad 2 taking friendly fire. Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
Okay,
Major, we're moving out.
so you can repair. Now let's try this again.
Squad 8
Major, we're
recharging.
moving out.
Just want to get up there and make sure there's nothing severe. They say fortune favors the bold, but in ground control, I think it favors the patient and the methodical. Okay. Yep. Got the missile launcher, advanced power station, etc., but I think we've cleared out the defenses now. Okay. We're going to repair.
Moving at once, Major. Moving right away, Major.
And we're going to
Move order received.
move up our main battles
Move it out.
to go ahead and
Recharging.
clean up the rest of this disaster area.
Enemy structure destroyed. Mission update. Power generator destroyed.
Well, another cookie cutter generic mission update.
Order received.
But we have only one objective left, unless they're going to add more on afterwards. The power unit down here. It should be a fairly easy journey there. At least it appears to be. Just straight over land, and we've got a good angle on the entrance. So we'll see how that goes. That's unfortunate.
We're on our
Retreat.
way, Major. Move order received.
So we have artillery.
Move order received.
See how far it fires.
Major, we're moving out.
Yeah, we just barely got out of the way. Somewhere in this area. Well. Okay. Need to bring up the artillery
Artillery moving out.
so it's close to being in range. Well, you can be over here,
Yes,
I guess.
Major. Moving out.
A little closer. And then these are our healthier Jaegers. I want to see if they can pinpoint it for me.
We're on our way, Major.
I'm going to keep them moving around a bit.
Move order
So I know they're
received.
going to get shot at. Okay, there's torpedo infantry. We can deal with them later.
Major, we're
Okay.
moving out.
Now if we cross over
On our
this way.
Major. Move order received.
Can we see there it is. Okay. Artillery. Janus.
Special weapon loaded.
Because we're never going to have a better time to use a Janus warhead than now.
We're on our way.
See if we can keep moving around and distract you with the Jaegers. Did you even
Enemy
fire?
structure destroyed.
We got it. First shot with the Janus. Beautiful.
Major, we're moving out. We're on our way, Major.
Well,
Move order received.
that actually went better than I expected it to. Very nice.
Major, we're moving out.
So now we have no more artillery. But we did see some torpedo up there. Well, let's
On our way.
get everybody up a little bit closer before we
Major, we're
start
moving
dealing with that. I think we've got the availability for that scenario.
Yeah, I'm going. Right away, Major.
Uh-oh. Torpedoes already coming after us. I waited too long. Okay, they're going to come right down here.
Major, we're
Marines here. Hold on. You get in the way. Where's my other Jaegers? Did I leave them off somewhere?
Squad 1 taking friendly fire. Enemy attacking
Yeah, they're
Squad
attacking
1.
these guys
Squad
back here.
1
Okay.
taking friendly fire. Enemy infantry destroyed.
Surprised I didn't hurt myself more than that, but we were starting to get close to losing one of these. And
Moving right away, Major.
okay, we got the torpedoes. By the way, there's only
Squad
3
9
of those.
charging.
There's normally 4, and I'm wondering if there's 3 of them over there, and they left the one from the 4-pack over, where was it? It was over here by the comm station earlier in the level. In any case, we do have a fighter over
Squad
here.
1 recharging.
That's helping discourage me from using air power. But let's... Nope, not yet. We're
on our way, Major.
gonna heal up, but then I want to see if there's anything further up on this end with my Jaegers.
Move order received.
Okay, we've got some good vision here. We've got a couple heavies. Various structures. There's still that fighter along there.
Move order received.
Yep. Couple mediums. Okay. The mediums are moving about. I think I want to keep you over here and not firing. Actually, even back up as far as possible and let you still see this. Yeah.
Pulverizing target.
So, Jaeger here.
On our way, Major.
Heavy's in front.
Yeah, I'm going.
And then let's pull up the main battles to each side.
Moving out.
Boy, we're only getting the
Enemy
one.
attacking squad
Oh, we're
2.
getting mediums too. Okay. Artillery.
Beginning
Take out the
barrage.
heavy first. They have the high ground. So this is going to
Move order
be
received.
unfortunate battle here,
Moving
but
at once, Major.
I think we've got more than enough to make it
Enemy
happen.
attacking Squad 9. Squad 9 recharging.
Almost done with the heavy.
Enemy hover
There it
gun
goes.
destroyed.
Knock out the mediums if you please.
Squad 2 recharging. Enemy attacking Squad 5.
Artillery moving out.
No, no, no.
Beginning barrage.
Enemy hover gun
Moving right
destroyed.
away, Major.
There we go.
Attack
Squad
order.
Let's
two
knock out that
recharging.
heavy. Which may be the last significant threat.
Squad 5 recharging.
We hit the fighter too. It's not often you get to hit fighters with an artillery shot.
Enemy attacking Squad 2. Squad 2 recharging.
So the sort of hammer and anvil approach still working very well.
Enemy hoverdyne destroyed.
There we
Enemy
go.
attacking Squad 2. Squad 2 recharging.
Wait for these last couple salvos to fall. And before I go up over there, there we go. I do want to send these Jaegers over here just to be sure. Okay, there's a missile launcher,
Move order received.
but I think we're still doing fine. Okay. So,
Right away, Major.
we're going to move up here
Move order received.
with our 3 primary armor squads.
Moving.
Move order received.
Let's bring up the anti-air as well.
Received.
Throw the Jaegers on the other side. Wouldn't hurt to throw the rockets back here, but mainly I want my armor up here to blow apart this base. And since this is the last one, let's just
Attack order received.
Squad 2 taking friendly fire.
Stay
Squad
with it.
5 recharging. Squad 5 taking
doggone
friendly
it. Anti-air is hitting me on the ridge. Get up here.
fire. Command APC taking
Yep.
friendly
At
fire.
once, Major.
We're too close to its attack vector.
Moving right
Command
away,
APC taking friendly
Youch!
fire.
I almost just lost the
Squad
mission
5
there.
recharging. Enemy aerodyne
Move order
destroyed.
received.
That was painful. That would have been the dumbest mission loss of all time if I had done that. Okay.
Mission structure destroyed. Power generator destroyed.
Yes. So the lesson there is do not move
Mission
your
accomplished. All order power generators destroyed.
don't move your anti-air up a ridge until all of your vehicles are well clear.
I spent the last 6 hours pounding dents out of my battle armor. The chest plate had more shrapnel in it than one of Hayes' battle plans. I counted 37 weapon strikes to the APC. It's going to have to be junked completely, and I took less fire than the rest of my squad. The mission worked, but it doesn't take a paranoid to figure out it was a low survivability job. Somebody had to do it, but I noticed Enrica didn't put her pet boy Thomas on the job. Guess it pays to be a gung-ho psycho. Enrica does have an agenda, and she's heard that I've been asking questions. I wouldn't give a forged pay voucher for my chances of surviving this war.
So Parker not feeling super happy about her personal future. She's always been aware, but she's becoming increasingly aware that her attitude doesn't exactly fit in with the Craven Corporation. I thought this was a fairly tedious mission, but it wasn't too bad. And the drone carrier is the key thing here. They're scary. Let's see how we did. Did get a kill from Mage Parker. And almost got shot at the end, of course. Blood Veterans didn't do a whole lot. Military Police, 28 total, 23 buildings. They get the destroyer, but they're still Blood Veteran. We're hanging out at Blood Veteran, not getting up to Elite. I'd like to be there. And, you know, there's not that much left in the campaign. So, 28, 14 of each. Very nice. And our light pterodines are not as important now. But at the same time, you know, these are only veteran. So we don't have to worry about them being odd. We do have the elite for anti-air. I think we already had that, but we definitely have it now. Only 5 kills this time. So Army strong, 32 for our artillery, and they're up to elite, or they definitely were already, actually. Red Raptors get their combat star, but that's about it. The fighters didn't do much. There's our bombers. They did get 1 kill and the combat star, but they're still inexperienced. Okay, Ripper Jacks. Those are the other Jaegers. And that's our... Those were the rocket troops, I believe. And yeah, Iron Chargers experienced, but, you know, took some losses. So, none of these down here actually participated. There's our 1 unit we've had killed. So, what does the Order have left? I mean, from what they're describing, I'm thinking it's just their main command base. But we'll have to see more about that next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Ground control will continue as we try to wipe out the last vestiges of the Order from Creek 7B.